Hey guys, this is Jody, your commissioner with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast, and we're back on again tonight. This is our winter solstice night. This is episode 79. So those of you who've been following us and you're like going, wow, there's been a lot of them. That's a lot of drinking days. It's twice a week, almost every week. And then there might have been a couple provisionals that we threw out there. I don't know, but I counted them because I thought, you know what, let's do this by episodes. But hey, look, do you want to talk about some upcoming things that are coming in the new year? One of them is I am going to launch a podcast, and I'm going to also refine this podcast to where we're going to have, it's going to be much more state of the art and stuff of that nature, rather than kind of how we came about this because of COVID-19, and make it more of a two-parter. A podcast that's going to be, with video and all that, but also you can listen to it in the car via iTunes and stuff of that nature. Not iTunes, but wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, we'll say that. So it's going to be on that. And then I'm also starting another one that will be, I'll call them politics free. It'll just be a leadership type of podcast, talking to different types of leaders throughout the country, whether they're politicians or military leaders, organizational leaders, even community rights activists and stuff like that might be leaders in their groups. And we're going to be looking at different types of leadership aspects, and it will be led by Dr. Lamons for that one. But anyhow, be led by Mark. But hey, guys, welcome to the show. Let's get on to what we're doing during our winter solstice night.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Still got my moose ears. Ooh, hey, did anybody see Jupiter and Saturn?
Not yet. It's out there, but I just haven't gotten out and taken a look at it yet.
It is out there. It's been out there. I just want to let you know, long before any of us were on this earth, it was there. just want to point that out.
It is raining here in the Berg, so I ain't seeing nothing outside.
Rain?
Yeah. So all the snow's gone and it's raining now?
Let's turn to ice.
It's snow be gone tomorrow.
Oh, it's crazy. That's horrible. Yeah, we had today was beautiful. I actually went for a nice run today. Keep those lungs clear, try to stay somewhat healthy and stuff. But no, I went for a nice run. I think it got up to 50. But get this, Thursday night, there's like a 18% chance of a white Christmas here in Tennessee, which that's significant. I just want you guys to know that's pretty high. All right.
Significant for Tennessee.
Yeah. But and it will be no more than a dusting at best. Okay. So it's just for those of you guys who want to put on your big muck boots and be out there playing in the snow for, like 3 foot of it. I'm not a weather person or a meteorologist. I don't even read the weather that often, but I can tell you you're not going to get 3 foot of snow. I can promise you that. All right. But it's going to be 18 degrees on Christmas morning. 18. Now, again, I'm going to preface this. I'm not a weather person or a meteorologist, but that's freaking cold, man.
In your neck of the woods.
It's a little chilly.
I don't care where you're at. That's cold.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's like when I was over in Iraq. It's hot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can look at it. You can go, well, I live in the desert. Okay. It's still hot. It doesn't change the fact that it's either hot or cold.
Still hot.
Yeah.
Still cold.
You may just have a callous temperature gauge on you, but it's still cold and it's still hot, depending on where you're at.
Girlfriend has many things callous on me, but
and just like that, the ratings went down.
Or they went up. Who knows?
Something went up, but it wasn't our ratings.
It wasn't a callus either.
Hey, so speaking of being 75 today.
We got up to 75? About 62 today here in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Top down of the convertible, drove around. Had to go to the bank.
There we go.
Spreading your COVID with your rag top down.
And, so I went to the bank and they
should be rules on that. Don't let Newsom find out about that. I know he's in California, but he may come over and call you guys as governor and
they already have everything shut down, and they left haircuts and travel okay, like barbershops and super trim and whatever you want to call it. And but they reduced all of the restaurants down to 25% occupancy. So all the restaurants are putting in outdoor seating. By outdoor seating, they're just getting tents, and they're putting up tents, which, I mean, I get the, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So I walk into the bank and I'm wearing my thing, and then I leave the bank and I go into Jersey Mike's to get myself some lunch. And I walk in and I forget to put my mask on, and I'm like all the way to the back of the store where where you start to order, and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot out loud I said a full drop the S-bomb and everything. And the manager's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, here, I got you one. He gave me one. I just put on one of the blue paper ones, but I totally, I'm usually really good with it, but I'm just going to run in real quick, and didn't even think anything of it until I was ready all the way into the store, all the way. And not like just opening up the door. I was all the way in the back of the store.
Hey, real quick, let's say hello to DJ. DJ, what are you drinking? And welcome to the show, man.
Hey, it's been a little bit, been kind of busy all over the place, but Merry Christmas and
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's been good. Everything's fine over here. My family and I are nice and safe, and I've got one of my favorites is Old Forester, a single barrel. I don't know. I'm drinking the Athena's batch number 12. So it's something I cracked this in September, and I just revisited it this evening.
We didn't actually cover what everybody's drinking. So I actually am drinking a store pick that I got from Elixir this weekend. I will tell you, I was sitting there with Jay, and I was sampling, and I misunderstood Tariq when he said, I thought he said he's going to give me the high proof first, and then the lower proof backbone second. So I took the first one. It was High West, and I was like, not too bad. I don't really know what he considers high proof, but obviously this isn't it. So I took it, and I was like, that's not too bad. Well, the second one, my wife was listening because she was paying attention. Apparently I wasn't. The second one was the one that was high proof, which was this. And I freaking just smelt it, got a good nose on it. I was like, smells good. Bam. Just a thimble amount, but still bammed it back. I was like, oh my God, what's the proof on that? I thought you said that was lower proof. He goes, no, it's the higher proof. So it's 119.2. But when you're expecting it to be I don't know, 80 proof, right. 90 proof, it let me on fire. But anyway, this backbone, it's a store pick. It came from Elixir. It's got the sticker on it. It's called My Chemical Batman.
Okay.
And I will tell you, quite honestly, Jay has not led me astray with some of the ones he's picked, told me to go with, or said, hey, I think you got to try this. And that was one of them. Now, he has been trying to be on the bandwagon of trying to convert me to Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He likes to mention the barrel pick, the Jack Daniels barrel store picks.
Yeah. And I'm sure they're great if you like Jack Daniels. And I need to probably preface this. I don't like Jack Daniels because of a lot of the bad things I did when I was drinking Jack Daniels back in the day. All right. So, and it had nothing to do with my attitude, personality, or my inabilities or inhibitions back then. It had everything to do with Jack Daniels. And so I realized that was the one vice in my life that I need to get rid of. And so I did. Now, I will tell you, though, the Sinatra, though I don't find it to be a daily drinker, it is a nice once in a while sipper. It has a nice clean taste to it. It's really, really smooth. Excuse me. But it has, from the bottle, it smells just like Jack Daniels. But as soon as you pour it into a glass, it really opens up. And I can see why that would have been definitely for the time period, would have been a Sinatra thing. I really do. It is that good. But that doesn't mean I'm coming around. It's just that's just how my preference on it, my preferences. I am not a big fan of Jack Daniels. I'm actually, but to be fair, I'm not a big fan of anything that's not 4 years old. Something that's bottled in bond, or I know that it's at least 4 years old. Typically, that's how I am. And I do want to get up there to here in Tennessee. We have a place called Leaper's Fork. They have a distillery, and they do have some bottled in bond 4-year straight bourbon that I want to try. And and it's a local purchase. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to bring it home and have it sitting here. But I was thinking that I'd probably, between Christmas and bourbon during the season, might need to cut back on spending for a little while. I say that every time, but then I turn around, I'm like, ooh, I don't have that, and I buy it. So
agreed.
Where are you going to get that Leaper's Fork?
From what I read, I could be wrong, and you may know more than I do, DJ. What I read on the Nashville Bourbon Barrel page was that you could drive up to the distillery and they would sell it there.
Yeah, and I know they had several cases sitting on the floor at Cool Springs.
At Cool Springs.
Yeah.
At the one over there in the Academy Sports parking lot.
Yep.
Okay, I can do that. I could probably do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about it, and I saw it, and I passed on it.
I typically always pass on something that's young. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and then somebody else said, "Hey, this is kind of, some people had comments about it or whatever, and it's a hike for me to get there, So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but." I've
got your contact information. If I'm out there this week, I'll pick up a bottle. I'll pick up 2, and we can just meet up sometime after Christmas if that works for you.
That works for me.
Cool.
No worries, man. It's all good. How have you been, by the way?
I've been well, man. I've been well. I got to enjoy 5 hours in the woods yesterday. Enjoyed that. I love sitting in the woods. Only thing I wish is I would have brought some binoculars, because like I was telling Rob before the show, I've never seen a blue-headed woodpecker. Didn't even know they existed. And I was sitting there and the squirrel came up, and apparently I was well enough hidden from him. He just was sitting there, just hanging out, like scratching his junk and stuff in the tree next to me. I'm like, dude, go someplace, And then all of a sudden this blue-headed woodpecker took over from where he was, and how a freaking family of deer could have walked by, or the largest buck in the history of Tennessee. And I was too busy staring at this damn woodpecker going, I've never seen a blue-headed woodpecker. And so next thing you know, I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes watching this. I'm completely amazed by him. I'm like, wow, it's really cool. I've never seen it. I mean, he's so pretty, So I was sitting there watching the woodpecker for a long time, but it's not just that. I just enjoy being in the woods. It's so quiet. You hear nature, and you're many acres away from civilization, essentially, And I doubt that there's too many people, at least in our circles, that love hunting as much as I do. I absolutely adore it and could be out there every day. And if I had the time and money to do it, time is more than the money aspect. It's not very expensive. It's more the money aspect, or not money, but time aspect. If I had more time, I'd be out there every day. And I was telling Rob, he goes, "Well, did you see anything?" I did when I walked up to my truck, but I've already gotten 3 this year, and I'm not going to shoot a deer just because I can, because it happens to be convenient. As I'm walked up to my truck, there he is hanging out, That's not, unless it was like the supreme grand poobah of bucks, and I just had to get him, or it was something that was completely rare. I'm just not going to do it, So I just kind of watched them. I sat there and watched them for about 15, 20 minutes. And by that point it got dark, and I loaded up my truck and drove out, and called the landowner and told him I appreciate him letting me be on his property, which it's adjacent to my property, but he lets me park on his driveway. His driveway is like 1.5 miles long. And so he lets me pull off the side of his driveway and park there. And then we enter our community woods, essentially his property and 3 other homes' property have all given me permission. And I used to just leave from my house and walk over there, but I noticed when I get a deer, it's a long pull back to my house. So it's just, and gravity goes downhill and it goes straight into where his driveway is. And I'm like, I'll just park there, and then I'll enter the woods there and go that way. The only bad thing about yesterday was where I first was sitting. If I would have missed a shot, there was a potential I could hit my truck in the background. So, but anyway, Rob, what are you drinking?
Tonight, I am drinking a little Stranahan single malt.
Okay.
Sherry cask.
How is that?
It's damn tasty.
Okay.
You really pick up the sherry in the whiskey. You know, got a nice sherry sweetness to it that I'm really enjoying. Got a nice medium finish. Nice stuff.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to have to get some of that. I will tell you that the Shanahan's that Jack sent me is still sitting on my shelf, and I've had several drinks out of it. I absolutely love it. It has a nice cherry taste to it, to the what's called the Black Peak or Blue Peak.
Diamond Peak.
Diamond Peak.
Black label Diamond Peak.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, that is a solid whiskey. It's very, very good. Like I said, got a great cherry taste when you first take it. It almost tastes like a cherry Coke without the fizz. Is what I taste.
Jack, we might have to talk, brother.
I'm here for you, man. I'm here.
Yeah, mine's sitting on the shelf too. I'll have to crack that open.
It's really good.
Did I get you the Diamond Peak, or did I just get you the regular yellow single malt?
Yeah, that's the yellow single malt is what you got.
Okay.
Yeah. So in other
Still
words,
very good.
I got the cheaper end of stuff that was like on the bottom shelf. Dust is what you're saying.
No, I went out and bought that one specifically for you. No, that one's a really good one as well. Yeah, specifically for you. That's how much I like you. No,
there you go.
No, that one's a really good one as well. It's not quite my daily driver. I do like the Diamond Peak, the Black Label one, and for a lighter, almost more, I don't want to say refreshing, but even like a refreshing sipper, their Blue Peak and the Blue Label, which is a new one. It comes in at a lower proof, but it's also a single malt, and you could sip on that. I mean, obviously you couldn't, but you could, in theory, sip on that all day long. It's so good.
Yeah, no,
it's almost.
Try.
So, Jack, what are you drinking tonight?
So I just went to spring 2016 New Riff.
Love it.
I can't get this in Colorado, so I had to have this one mailed into me.
Nice.
And I actually have four of.
We can get the New Riff here. The only thing we can't get is the new winter seasonal drink that they have.
No,
I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, I've not seen it anywhere.
I haven't seen it anywhere either. But we can get new Riff all the time, pretty much on demand if you need it. So just let me know.
Well, I got the regular bourbon. I got their barrel proof, or is a single barrel bourbon, and then I got their regular rye and then their single barrel rye. So I got those four.
Well, there's a couple stores around here that have store picks as well.
And they're really, really good.
I'm gonna tell you what, I've been impressed with a lot of the store picks that I have come across. Actually, every store I've been to, every store that I went to, I'm not even a big fan of Redemption. And I had some Redemption from Fairview, and that store pick, that was good stuff. And then Backbone, great stuff from store pick from Tariq's place out at Accessory. No, it's not right. Excelsior, no, Elixir out there. And then I've had some Whistle Pig 10-year rye store pick from Bobby's place out here at what's it called? Crown Liquors in Columbia. And that's just been recently, and all of those have been fantastic picks that I've gotten. So, Mark, what are you drinking?
So I'm kind of drinking on a twofer right now. Colonel Taylor Small Batch. I actually stumbled upon this today. We were buying some chorizo and some brown sugar cured bacon. Really, really, really good. And so I always make my way around. It's kind of an upscale grocery store. I always stop. They tend to have a nice bourbon section. They get some mid to high level stuff in there. Normally they do it's about a little over what it should be, but it's not too bad. And so he says, "Oh, I got a case of this. Why don't you say 50? Oh, I'll take one. I should have taken two."
How much was it? $50?
Yep.
I'd have bought the case.
The small batch.
Yeah.
Because here in Tennessee,
I'm pissed I didn't
it's
get,
between
I'm pissed I didn't get at
59
least
and
one more.
here in Tennessee, small batch is between $59 and $79. You can see it all day long at those prices.
Oh yeah.
And so I let my dad. So my dad taste. We just cracked this. I don't know, right before the show. So it's moving along like the Jeffersons, but it's not going up. It's going down. Yeah. And so the other thing that I'm drinking, because when we came in, we started sipping this, and so I put a couple of these in the freezer, and it was about to burst. So this is Trinidad and Tobago's official lager. I don't know if I'd say official, but this is the number one drink on the Isle of Trinidad. If we're not drinking rum, we're drinking this all the time. This is orange juice. This is your after dinner something. This is your lunch. This is your lunch
nightcap.
Kool-Aid.
Dude, you said that, and it just made me think of something. I was reading on one of the bourbon pages, probably Nashville Bourbon Barrel, but it could have been on Bourbon Nation, on any of the pages that we trend on or we're on. But so I was reading it and it said someone had asked the question, and they had asked it seriously, like, so is 2 drinks a day bad for you? And one of the guys killed me because his response was, as long as you keep it under 750 milliliters, you're good to go. And I was like, oh my God. First of all, no, that's not right. And then someone had posted a picture of a person that like an old lady, and it says, or it might have been an old man, who knows, that's how old it was. And it said, I'm not an alcoholic. Alcoholics they need a drink. I have one right here. And
I have a drink.
I have a drink. That one.
And I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then people were going, is this really a question? But it got me thinking. So I did do some Google searches and some searches on your tolerance, though it has been kind of changed a little bit by the what is it, National Cancer Society or something like that. It was 2 drinks a day. You're in the clear, perfectly good. Keep it under for beer under 16 ounces or 8 ounces, and then for
12.
I thought it said 16. I could be wrong. So I don't care. I don't drink beer, so whatever it was. And then for whiskey or spirits, it was 2 2-ounce pours. So that's within the healthy range. I will tell you personally, I don't drink every day. I drink for sure twice a week. I will also fess up and be very transparent that COVID-19, been at home with your family all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to find new ways to drink.
That's all I'm saying.
Putting it in coffee, putting it in.
Well, see, before the show, I did have an adult hot chocolate with Kahlua in it, but I don't really consider Kahlua an alcoholic beverage. I know that you have to buy it and you have to be 21, but like I think its proof might be less than 1%. Is it 30?
Yeah, 30 or 40.
Like 40.
It can't be 40. It has to be like.
Is that high? Well, Kahlua is strong. Kahlua is stronger than Bailey, so it could be.
Right.
I can just tell you.
What did you have? What did you have? Bailey's Irish Cream? What'd you have?
No, it was I just said it just a second ago.
Kahlua,
yeah.
Oh, Kahlua. Yeah.
Yeah, Kahlua is higher than Bailey, so
it can't be, man. It tasted like I was drinking.
That high.
I'll put it to you this way: I could not taste not a bit of alcohol in it, and I was like, and you have to put a shot in it, and I was like, this is nothing. Now,
20%, so it's 40 proof.
So 119 Backbone. Oh, you can absolutely feel this every single drink of it.
Heck yeah.
So, but
I was trying to store a pick of that.
But no,
I had somebody give me a bottle of that because he had 2 sips and didn't like it at all, and I love it.
I understand that.
Well, I didn't the first time I had it. But the second time I had flavor. The first time it just was like ethanol and burn.
Yeah, it was a store pick, and he didn't like it at all.
I would tell you this is a store pick, and I really do like it.
Mhm.
I will also be completely transparent with it. This is not an everyday drinker. It's too high a proof for everyday drinker.
Yeah.
If you're gonna drink every day, and that's something that maybe that people ought to look at. If what you consider as 2 drinks are both like 119 and above, and you're doing essentially 4 ounces of that, that might be a little much every day.
Yes, it is.
If they open you up and your liver's got white spots on it, that would be a mistake, So, but the good thing is your liver can actually regenerate itself, and it's kind of like a comedian's tale.
Don't you need, like, after 2 weeks, if you don't drink alcohol for 2 weeks, doesn't it? It's fully flushed of alcohol contaminants after 2 weeks, I think.
I didn't know that.
I think that's what it is.
So
that's what I tell myself, but I never give it more than 2 days.
It's more like 30 days.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, so that's
I have
why
actually heard 30 days before.
It is 30 days. Yeah. So that's why they have. What are they? What is it? Sober October.
Yeah, I've seen that. One of our previous members who used to be on here quite a bit, Annie, she did Sober October, and she was like, I had told her, I said, she had posted and said it's been 31 days when she had her first round. I said, man, I'm proud of you. I sent her a message saying, I'm proud of you. That's pretty awesome. You stuck with it. She goes, are you doing it? And I'm like, no, that's stupid. I'm not doing that. I mean,
no, not me.
I only drink twice a week, and on occasion I'll have another one, but typically only twice a week. So no, I'm not doing that. Period.
I don't want to join your nightmare.
Yeah, I don't want to be in your cult.
Yeah. I don't need to drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will be honest on my my little furlough that I'm currently on. I'm probably doing 2 drinks a night for 5 nights a week. Got nothing really to do.
There we go,
well,
Mark.
I know Mark does every night because he posts a picture on Bourbon Nation. He's like, it's like some picture in a new shirt, and I'm like, the
last 2 weeks of my dad here. Every night it's been something. We're tasting something. He's like, what's that bottle? Let's see.
Well, so I don't know how old y'all are, but like I'm 62 and I have a lot of bourbon bottles in my collection, right? So, I can't take it with me. Right. So I want to make sure that I, kind of time it out. I take my last drink at 90 and then.
That's funny you say it because, and hold on a second, Jack, because I think that's actually a very interesting conversation to have. I know people, Jack being one of them, who doesn't drink a bottle unless he has a reserve behind it. And I don't share that philosophy. If I buy something, because think about it, if you're going to buy standard secondary price, unless you get lucky, but if you're going to get 2 of them, you're going to have to be, that's a lottery. But say you bought standard secondary pricing is between $430 and $600 for Stag. It could be higher depending on which venue you're on. All right. So we'll just go with $430. So if you had 2 of those, you got to have one to back up the one you have. That's $860 you just put into 2 bottles of bourbon. And I'm sitting here over here like going, do you even know if you like it, or you just like the name, right. Because there's a lot of people you'll find that don't like Blanton's. And I'm like, you guys are communists. I don't understand that, like it's freaking great. But then they could say that, but they could also say the same thing to me. Like, you don't like Jack Daniels. How could you live in Tennessee? I'm like, because I bought a house here and taxes are low. I don't know what else to tell you. And, I don't partake in everything that's part of Tennessee. But they would say that. Would say, how could you not like Jack Daniels bourbon? I'm like, well, I want to start an argument immediately and go, it's not bourbon, but it's beside the point. But people could say the same thing of me. So I think it comes down to it's different things that different people like and different palates. but I do think that's a fascinating conversation because I seem to share your philosophy there, DJ. If I have it, I'm going to drink it. Now there's certain things I haven't opened yet. Like, I mean, there's no reason to have 3 Rock Hill Farms open at the same time. That just seems stupid, you know?
Right.
Or 3, I'm just looking at what's in my office because I know I have at least 2 of everything that's in my office. Or I have 2 12 years and 2 107s. Well, there's no reason to open up the other one until I get finished with the first one. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the Blantons, I have 8 bottles of Blanton. So, you know, there's no reason for me to open it up unless, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're talking about just to having them on there, like my Stag that I got this year, it is open. I had a drink from it. I had 2, matter of fact. All right. I mean, it just seems stupid to me. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. My philosophy, it seems stupid to me to not have something that's on your shelf.
Well, I have bottles on my shelf that I purposely will not open just for me. I'm going to open them up with somebody who appreciates it as well. And we're going to do that together.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Or veterans,
Kind of
because
the
you told me that
spirit.
too.
A lot of my bottles I'll open up and drink, but there are a handful that I won't touch. I won't even think about it unless I have somebody who's sitting there going, or a couple of guys, you know, whatever. Say, hey, you know what? Let's have a bourbon taste tonight, and we're gonna walk in and just pick one off the shelf and we'll crack it open together.
Well, you're definitely nicer than I am because there are certain things I'd be like, no.
No, I ain't
pick
open
something
space,
else.
sorry.
No, hey Jody, I should send you. I'm gonna send you guys a picture. I have about 20 or so bottles that have been moved in the back.
Yeah.
Just in case. Now, everyone around me, they know enough about bourbon that certain bottles talk to me first, but you know. So I now have to move. What is it? The 2 stars. Now the good thing is Ancient Age is not bad, but you know, Ancient Age is not bad for $9. I got a liter of Buffalo Trace that everyone can see. But yeah,
almost bought a liter of that this weekend.
Yeah, I got a 20.
Is it
23
ancient age or ancient age?
Ancient
Age.
It's Buffalo Trace's bottom barrel, all the way at the bottom.
I thought Benchmark was their lowest.
Is it? I thought
No,
Ancient Age.
the benchmark is Lux Row.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize, guys. Don't send hate
I
mail.
can't drink that ancient age.
It's not bad. It's actually not bad for $9. It's not bad at all. Now it's not great. I'm not going to be looking for it, but hey, okay.
I have.
But I got But yeah, it's funny. We talk about opening these bottles. I have several, Brother Billy. So I got quite a few bottles.
Hold on 1 second. Mark, hold on 1 second. Hey, Billy, put your hat back on. You look like freaking Ice Cube.
Hey, Billy.
I knew it was coming.
Oh,
special guest. Special guest.
One more. Hi.
You did look like. Oh, it's your daughter's in town too. Yeah. I keep up with you on Facebook.
This is a group of hooligans who I hang out with.
There she is. There she is.
Hello. How are you? Okay, but she's gone.
She's gone.
How you like the barbecue sauce?
She don't want the likes of us. She ain't got the time for us.
She's like, Dad, I thought you said everybody was cool. They all look old.
Yeah, like me.
But anyway, hey, so Billy, Ice Cube, why don't you put your little do-rag thing back on? Because that was freaking. You look just like you know. There you go.
Cube,
tell me he doesn't like Ice Cube there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm changing his name right now. Change his name.
You go.
How are you, Billy?
I'm good, man. Just enjoying this beautiful weather. My daughter's in town, so I'm a happy man. She's gonna be here for Christmas.
Nice.
So, you know,
Awesome.
I don't need
Let her drive that Jeep yet?
I'm good. What's that?
You let her drive that Jeep yet?
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna let her drive it. Not yet. let me put some scratches on it first.
Hey, Billy, what are you drinking tonight?
I think I'm gonna go with some Blantons. just to
Nice.
celebrate my fact that my child's in town.
There
I
you
think
go.
Blanton's it is.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
Yeah,
So-
Ice Cube, you have what you want, man.
That's right.
And we're gonna kill the bottle. How about that?
There
Oh,
you
There you
go.
go.
Ooh,
It's
bottle
nice to kill it and not drop it, my man.
Yeah, right?
Off your shelves.
Off my
Hey,
shelf. Hey,
What,
listen.
what letter
In the
is
middle
your
of the night.
cork?
Look, if
What?
you can see, it's torn right there. This is the bottle that fell and it survived. So
Right.
yes.
Except for those little the little glass shards that are inside every drink you have. But anyway, DJ was getting ready to ask you a question.
What
Go for it,
what
DJ.
letter? What letter is on the cork, Billy?
This is the N.
Which one?
There's two of them. Yeah, there's one with a little O at the bottom of it.
Yeah, there's a little.
No, this is just a regular.
It's a straight up N. So it's the first. It's the first N and not the second.
Are you needing
Yeah.
specific letters there, DJ? Because I have I sent some to Mark. I have a
I
plethora.
got
of-
some.
I got a
Mhm.
bunch of them sitting right there.
Yeah, no, I have my whole
Here, Stave.
all of them already. I'm working on my second one.
Well, I'm working on my third one right now. 'Cause I
There
have,
you go.
I have.
I need to catch up on my first, damn it.
Yeah, same here. I got one letter.
Well, you just said you didn't like blanks.
Uh-oh.
I said I haven't opened mine yet.
Oh, that's right. Because you got to have two. I'm sorry.
Now, so each
Yeah. Oh, that's
Every
that's
single-
what I
every
was about to
single,
say.
um,
Yeah.
every single letter I have, I've had that bottle and drank
Yeah,
that.
it's that's same with me. And I've
Yeah.
actually turned two of my bottles into mouthwash containers.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
that's it. Okay.
That's
The only
a great
bad thing
idea.
is only bad thing is you have to after about a year or so you have to change out the cork, the new letter, because mouthwash is different than alcohol. It'll actually start getting a little bit of bacteria on it, and so you have to take it off and put a new one in, and then clean the old one, and then let it dry. Then you can use it again.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Hey,
But these are
yeah.
things you learn from having that for over a year or so. Actually, I've had
And you
it
make fun of my
almost
clear ice. Okay.
There you go.
Hey, listen.
Oh,
Hey, Rob, did you get all your packages okay?
I got all my packages okay, my friend.
Okay, good. Because I just read that the post office is expecting over 20,000. There you go. The post office is expecting 20,000 packages to be late for Christmas.
hey, I got three bottle picks sitting in the damn post office 10 miles from me, and I can't go get the damn things. I'm pissed.
Yep.
Well, I have
and
some
there's-
samples somewhere.
Yeah, there's
Oh, I
9
forgot
samples
about that.
floating
Yeah, I
around
forgot
out
about
there.
that.
Yeah.
Am I the
Yeah.
first one to get them?
Yeah.
And-
After
and
18 inches
Rob,
of snow,
And
you're the
snow,
first one to
yeah.
get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
you
Billy,
know
what
what
do
it
you-
is, though? Because they're used to delivering in that kind of weather. So,
Yeah.
Well, here they're like, I mean, first of all, my mail guy. So that's a funny conversation too. Though I want to circle back to the one here in a moment. But I want to give you guys an update on some of you guys have been trending hashtag Jody hates his mail guy. But hey, if you want to be a member of the VIP, it's where it's at. Just all you got to do is send a request to either myself or anybody on the crew want to add you to the VIP, and that is where you want to be. But anyway, back to the mailman. So we have like a community, I wouldn't call it a neighborhood because we live out in the country, but so we call it a road Facebook page. And somebody was talking about how they love their mailman. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate that guy. I absolutely hate him. All right. And, and so they were asking for, all these, what do you think great about him? This, that, whatever. I'm like, dude opens up my mailbox like it, apparently he's pulling the door in one of the Indiana Jones movies. Like he's like, and it's like just a normal, you can do it with your pinky. And then he slams it back up like he's flipping a table. And I'm like, oh my God. All right. And then my favorite thing he does is like, he'll bring, I'm home every day. So he'll bring packages up to the door. Now, reluctantly, because I had to put a sign downstairs that says, please take to front door. Because he'll just stack them all by the garage. He's like, hell with this guy. He never comes out this door. So it'd be like 400 packages down there. My wife's like going, hey, I haven't gotten this, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm here every day. I hadn't seen the mailman, But anyway, so I had to put a sign up downstairs. He brings him to the front door. He's reluctant about it. And then as soon as I get it, I watch him back down my driveway. And granted, it's a long driveway, but I watch him back down it. Then he backs back up, puts my mail in the mailbox. I'm like, Like, come on, dude.
He really does
We
not
just
like
had
you.
we just met each other like for the 15th time. If you're going to be already up here, just hand it to me. I mean, because 9 times out of 10, to make it easier for him, I walk outside and walk down the stairs and towards his car, and I say hello to him. He's like, he kind of does like my dad. He's like, come on, dude.
This story sounds so familiar. Have you told us before? My recollection is that I've heard this bitch section before, man. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I do. It's an update. I give an update. This just happened the other day. I mean, such a pompous ass. Oh. I might
Give
need a
him
lawyer.
I'm
not giving him anything. He had not earned love from me.
That's
give him a Starbucks card, man, and say thank you so much.
No.
Merry Christmas.
Nope.
Thanks for everything you've done.
He hasn't done anything. He reminds me of a union worker.
Well, you don't have to
roses.
fill the Starbucks card. Just get him one.
Give him a couple rolls of toilet paper.
Oh,
So
I might take him from my stash.
hey, I'll send you some. I got Freedom toilet paper. It's
I have
Freedom.
some I got some from
American.
China too. When it was during the depletion, when you couldn't find it anywhere, I ordered it from China. Oh my God, dude! If people in China wipe their butt with that stuff, it's no wonder they're so small. They take off at least a ½ inch to 4 inches every time they wipe. That stuff is the most. I mean, like we've had the pack. It's open. It's open in the kids' restroom, and they won't use it either. They're like, "Can I get some toilet paper?" I'm like, "Have you finished the other toilet paper?" And they're like, "Nobody can use that toilet paper. Like,
do you have any 2x4s you need to sand down smooth?
You could probably do that. Put it on the little belt sander. Probably break right through that 2x4. I'm extremely surprised how, man, Chinese people. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like that because maybe they use Charmin as well, but this is just their junk that they send to the U.S. But this stuff, oh my God, will destroy your nether regions. Or maybe it's just mine. Maybe my nether regions are dainty and I need something a little bit more softer.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Could be.
Oh boy.
I need softness. I need charm and softness. I'm just
I do. I like the commercial with the little bear and he's got a little bit of dingleberries hanging off his butt.
He
And
sings
his mom's
songs,
helping
he
him
raps.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Totally. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to leave the bathroom, maybe sing an Ice Cube song and feeling fresh.
Yeah, circle back and talk about bourbon.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Sorry.
That's the after
Just an
effect of
idea.
bourbon.
It seems
Just a
more-
bourbon showing off.
I was gonna say it sounds a little bit more, entertaining conversation than toilet paper.
You'd be surprised.
Maybe it's
Hey, toilet paper
we might need to
and
take a
bourbon
poll
can
on
go
that.
hand in hand.
But hey, let's for real though. I want to circle back to what Jack. Like I know Jack collects them.
Well,
Oh, that's where I was going to go. But yeah,
there's a small. So let me explain. There are some. You're absolutely right that I do collect, and I probably will not open unless I become terminal, right, or a super special occasion. I'm just saying.
When you said that, I just sit here. I'm like, why are you waiting till your terminal? Like you're gonna be on morphine and 150 Old Forester.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I don't feel any pain, but that doesn't seem like happiness to me.
Well, those 150s, part of it. So part of it is, yeah, you're definitely right. There are some where I'll go get it. I don't have a second of the new riffs. I mean, I have 4 individual bottles that I do plan on opening. There are some out there that I will that are easily obtainable that I will go out and I will open one, drink it, finish it, and then maybe go out and get a second one. There are some like the E.H. Taylors or the 150, the Old Forester 150 that are either very hard to come by or that their secondary prices are 2-3 times MSRP. Or they're just a limited run. You're not going to be able to get the 150s again right after they all sell out. They're done. They're absolutely done. I may never taste a 150, right? I don't know. Maybe I will.
And see that right there, just by itself, sounds silly to me. Like I may never taste a 150.
And you're probably right. You're probably right. But the other aspect of it is, I'll buy a backup bottle. One, like I said, one is those 3 different caveats. The allocated stuff. Now, like I said, the stuff that, or I don't really want to pay, nor do I pay, or I try not to pay, secondary pricing on anything. And when I do find it at secondary pricing, I'll either pass, or if it's something that will complete the set, like batch 1 of Old Forester, I may pull the trigger on that just to complete the set. I don't resell it, so in theory I could pay secondary prices because I'm the only one that's going to keep. I'm not going to resell it. But if the world comes to an end and I'm out of money and I'm out of everything, I know that I can sell my Old Forester all 3 batches for $1,000, where I paid $300, $400 for it. So I can double my price on that, or double my return.
Do you think,
I guess.
let me ask you this: so if you're out of money, or let's say the world is out of money because of apocalypse or zombies, or communism or socialism, whatever it might be. So do you think your Old Foresters, I mean, would they not look at it as, let's just take communism and socialism? If it was those two, would they not just acquire it and say, hey, look, your bottles are all of our bottles?
They're not licensed, so I could hide them.
No, I mean, I'm on your side, Mark. I'm just saying.
Mark.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how you look at, like, currently, I thought, and I think I'm right, during the pandemic, the biggest investment I could make was in toilet paper. I found that to be true. I could actually sell that on the black market right now and make money. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, I've known people that have COVID, and not a one of them has told me I got to go to the bathroom every 2 seconds. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea why toilet paper was the catch-all. That and pasta.
Because the theory was this: people felt like they were going to be on lockdown for months, to the point to where they couldn't leave the house. And if you ran out of toilet paper, you're going to have bigger problems. So people went out and bought all the toilet paper they can. And listen, me and my wife were sitting here on the couch one day, and she looked on Amazon, couldn't find it.
Right.
I go online to the same company to where I buy my plastic bottles and tops and seals, because they sell all sorts of stuff.
Right.
And I ordered a whole case of paper towels and toilet paper. Right now, there's 87 rolls of toilet paper sitting upstairs, and I have no idea. I mean, I was like, okay, I guess.
I have over 500 rolls of toilet paper. That is no exaggeration at all. I got 3 closets filled with them. Lysol, that's gold right there.
Actually, we just found a whole shit ton of Lysol at the grocery store yesterday. We went to our local King Soopers or Kroger, and it was buy only one per customer. So I go to my girlfriend, I'm like, do you want to buy one? And then I'll buy one. We just kind of go to different registers. But she's like, we don't even need it. It's like, we're clean enough as it is. We do, because we have a shit ton of 4-9 and Windex and paper towels. So we got all that. But back to bourbon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's how the bourbon gets circular. That's how it gets circular here, DJ. Is sometimes we get talking, it's like a rabbit hole. We go down this, and that's where we're at. I am curious when it comes to. I really am, because I've run across people, like, if you're going to trade them, like, there are certain things I have that I know that I just don't like, and I have them, and I have a couple of things I like. I mean, that I have that I know I'm never going to drink that are. I mean, I'll use as a trade source. Yeah. But it's so I can get some that I want to drink. Oh, by the way, I got another. I won another little book, but it's a 2000 little book. Let me tell you that. Because I was telling DJ, because we worked out a deal last time where he gave me a little book.
And I will say this: as far as my bourbon goes, I feel like I'm a collector and a connoisseur. I don't think I have anything that I would not open, because I feel like you're supposed to enjoy it. I don't think they, made any of this stuff to be kept, and just never to be drank and to be savored. But I understand it. I get it. I really do. But like, I have this Angel's Envy 2000 that comes in the wooden box and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, it'll be a trading horse, because it's been in the same spot since I brought it home.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to trade something for it, I would be open to it. If somebody wanted to buy it, I would be open to it. But just to be like, oh, no, I'm never going to open that. No, I don't think so. It's just one of those things that I feel like all of it at some point should be consumed. I just realized that if I was to do a count right now, I have alcohol in 4 different places in this house. No, actually 5. If I count upstairs, I got it upstairs in my bedroom. I got it here on my dining room table. I got 2 bars sitting over there, and I got it under the counter behind this over by the stove. So it's like it's everywhere. So if I think about the stuff that's open, I can drink something different every day for probably 20 days and not drink the same thing.
I know I can do that.
That's what I was
too.
going to say earlier.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say what I was going to say earlier. I'm kind of the same way. So for me, at least in terms of the allocated stuff, most of those I won't open unless I know I have another or I can get another.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, and I'm not one with like 2 and 3 of things open. Like, you know, I love 107. The last 107 actually is one of my dad, but I have a couple here. A couple Bland's. I have not opened my Bland's Gold. I only have that one, so I'm not opening that. I got my Rock Hills Farm on Black Friday. I'm not opening that until I get another. So, Jody, if you come across one, let me know. I was lucky I got that at retail as well. So
and I got us covered on the Rock Hill Farms.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that, but I was just going to hold off and let you say it.
Mark, have you tasted Rock Hill Farms yet?
I have. It's very good.
I think, in my opinion, Rock Hill Farms is my.
Is your unicorn?
It's in my top 5, so I'm with you, Jody.
I personally like. I love Stag, and I think I like Stag because of the heat and then the rarity. I think and it's got a very complicated, taste to it. Like you can tell there's a bunch of different things in it. But Rock Hill Farms, if I was gonna pick a bourbon that I could just say, hey, look, I want to have this bourbon at my, we're talking about death early, at my wake, or hopefully I never get married again, but at a wedding or at a birth of a child, which I better not have another one of those, those type of things. Rock Hill Farm is going to be grandkids. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
How about an anniversary?
That's actually, when I started in November, I only had one Rock Hill Farm, and I had saved it already a year. All right. I think it was a year. It was close to a year. I had already saved it, had not opened it, and it had been sitting in my bar. And now I have 3. Now I was going to use one. I was actually going to use 2 for a trade. So I actually reached out to Ice Cube down at the bottom and asked him if he could hook me up. And he was like, sure, I got you, man. And so I felt comfortable there, but that trade fell through, and that was a whole secondary market thing that we were talking about. Like here in Tennessee, DJ, you can attest to this. Rock Hill Farm in Tennessee, if you find it, first of all, you're not going to find it at retail, period. All right, You're just not. And if you do, it's because somebody has it in their. It's probably quite honestly, some of the places I go hunting sometimes are in those indiscriminate type of liquor stores that
they don't know what they have.
They don't know what they have, and it's generally people coming there to buy plastic bottles, something and others, and I look to see if they have something on the shelf that they don't even know they have. All right, but that's typically where you're going to find that kind of stuff. Now, my batting average for them is pretty low. I mean, I've gotten 3 Blantons from them, but outside of that, that's it. I've never gotten any unicorns. I mean, I know some people look at Blantons as unicorn, and that's fine. I don't look at that. Now, when you were talking about the gold earlier, I do have a gold as well. I also have a straight from the barrel, and I've opened both of them because when I bought them, I had it shipped to my house. I paid a lot of money for them to be shipped to my house, and that was an open market. I could always purchase from them, have it shipped to my house, and then July 2017, Tennessee legislator said, no more shipping bourbon to your house. And I'm like, you guys are buttholes, Yeah. Because I mean, what kind of drunk has bourbon shipped to the house? You're already paying way too much for it. So you're not really a good drunk if that's what it is. And you can't get any plastic bottles that way. But so to answer your question, yes, for anniversary, I consider Rock Hill Farm, in my opinion, to be the staple of what I pretty much judge everything off of. That's my opinion, but that's what I like. Now, Do I find 12-year Weller to be freaking awesome? Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. But I personally think Foolproof is better than that. And that is super hard to come by. And the last one I got of that, I got it at freaking retail price by just merely asking the guy, hey, you got anything hidden? He goes, what are you looking for? I go, I don't know. What do you got hidden? He goes, well, I got some Weller Foolproof. I'm like, can I buy a case? And he's like, you can buy one. I'm like, one it is.
Okay.
If I come back in 2 seconds, can I buy the other one? He goes, no, we have camera system and we see you. I'm like, so tell me what I need to do here to get more than one. And I could only get one, and I only got one.
That's your wife.
So
I was actually coming back from drill, so I didn't have the opportunity to that. Anyway,
so
go ahead.
my Rock Hill Farms, I got a bottle retail, and it was the most bizarre thing that I ever encountered. I got a call from my store that I always go to, and I'm on their list. And when they have allocated stuff, I get a call the night before the release, and they ask me what I want. And so I get a call from the bourbon manager, and she says, this is what we have available for you tomorrow. And she starts on this laundry list of unicorns. One of them is Rock Hill Farms. The other one was Blanton Gold. And those two were on my radar. And then she listed a bunch of other stuff. I said, well, I'll take one of each. And she goes, no, you misunderstood me. She said, you can have one on the list. And so I had to make a very tough decision. So I decided on a Rock Hill Farms because it was just before my wife and I's anniversary.
Yeah.
And so I got a Rock Hill Farms, and I think I told you the story before anyway.
Yeah, you have, but I like this story.
It's a great story. So her and I just actually sat down, and we won't touch it again unless somebody who really wants to have it and they just happen to visit or whatever, and then we'll certainly have a taste of it. But yeah,
And
that's one.
Jody, you talk about. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, I mean, I'm probably up to, I think I'm over 50 bottles, 50 different bourbons.
Well, I have over 160 different
and
bourbons.
all of the different types, almost all the different types of bourbon are open, except for the Horse Soldiers, which I just got. But like as far as backups, I don't get the opportunity to get many unicorns. But behind me, you can see I've got 4 Buffalo Trace because they're harder to find in PA. I've got 4 Eagle Rare back there. I've got 4 Weller Special Reserve because I can get them in Ohio. And I did get a backup of my Antique 107 my daughter found down in Atlanta.
I'll see if I can pick you up some Buffalo Trace because I can generally find that by the liter.
And that's so funny, Rob. Right now, I can take you 3 places here in Miami where Buffalo Trace is just sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
Yeah, I can tell you at least 3 to 4 places too. And that brings up another interesting aspect is
not here.
Is do you guys I don't really like new people to bourbon. I'll introduce them to Buffalo Trace, but personally, it's not one of my faves.
It's a good everyday drinker because of the price point.
Yeah, the price point and proof.
It's $24.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get a liter for $23 if you guys need it.
Yeah, and here at the Costco, when they have it, it's $19.99.
Right.
And you can buy as many as you want.
Yeah. It's Costco. You can buy the case or the pallet.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where we're dealing with allocation, we're dealing with location, we're dealing with price. Jack Frost says he can't get it over there. Here, I walk past the stuff like it's in a plastic bottle. But
what's funny, a year ago here, I couldn't find Buffalo Trace on shelves at all. Now there's cases everywhere.
The one that's that I found strange is Eagle Rare. I knew it a year ago.
I did that one either.
Well, I just picked up a bottle the other day when I got the backbone. I haven't opened it, and there's no reason why I haven't.
Good job, Billy.
And that's the big boy.
Yeah, I have. Well, I don't have the liter. I have the 750, but I picked it up and the only reason why I picked it up is because hell, I hadn't seen it in forever. I'll be honest with you. It's like everywhere, like it used to be a year ago, I could not go, like anytime I went on the military base, I would buy 2 or 3 of them and just, that was kind of like my go-to, because quite honestly, for every time I've deployed, I've had with my guys, my team, we'd have a drink of Eagle Rare together, which is why the only real unicorn I have, and I've said this, that I will pay a little, when I say a little extra, there's several people on this page knows what I will pay for a 17 year. Now I'm not going to get up into the $1,500s or $2,000, but I will pay well over price for it for the BTAC Eagle Rare 17. But it's because it has a military connection for me. But I that's one that shocked me, because even on the military bases, that's generally where I will find like Woodford, Eagle Rare, if you like Jack Daniels, for those people, and pretty much a Buffalo Trace, Bell Mead, I will find those like. And what's cool about it is it's always tax free on the base, all right? Yeah. And I'll find plethora of that typically. That has not been the case lately. For the last year, Eagle Rare has been scarce. Like, and I'm like, where the hell did Eagle Rare go? Why has it become allocated now? And what made it
allocated? That's it.
But in those cases, even though it may not be allocated, I think they've gotten such a science to it that they know, okay, well, we're going to give here and we're going to stop giving over here. So it keeps it that thing where it's still hard to get. It's like if you wanted to go out and buy Coca-Cola, you can buy Coca-Cola anywhere. But just imagine if for some reason Coca-Cola decided to stop putting Coca-Cola on the East Coast. It would be harder to find, and people would be like, why? Where did it go?
Well, you can look at it. You can look at it during the pandemic. Gatorade. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gatorade's just disappearing off the shelves.
I bought a shit ton of Gatorade for when it first started. I had about 10 cases of it.
I got 5 people living in this house. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's one of those things, and like you were saying, Jody, where they legislators told you can't have it delivered to your house. Just over the last 2 or 3 years, for whatever reason, somebody at the FDA decided to put a target on the back of premium cigars. And as long as I've been smoking cigars, nobody's ever had a problem with premium cigars. But the FDA all of a sudden had a problem where it was like you had to submit a sample and you had to do all this stuff. It was they were basically going to put the cigar business out of business. And it all kind of went away because somebody higher up was like, listen, what's your beef? And I think that's because somebody...
I'll tell you exactly when that changed. 26 January 21st, 2017.
Yeah.
When you didn't have an FDA or USDA that was looking to figure out how to tax the shit out of it and make it go away. When they, I'm not going to say they deregulated, but they focused on other things. So maybe January 21st of 2021, you may see a new focus on that again, which will make zero sense because they want to approve to let weed be legal. So I'm not even going to get into that, but that's a whole other, that's going to change.
Hey, so I have a question for the group.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Who has tasted or even heard about this Woodford Reserve Very Fine Rare Bourbon?
I have not bought it yet, but I have been looking.
I've seen it. Oh.
Ooh.
Have you opened it, or are you just?
I'll ask you offline.
Oh, no.
We'll find out later the price.
I can tell you this. Open. I can tell you this. The Woodford.
I got it from retail, by the way.
Woodford is a good bourbon, by the way. Really
yeah. I love Woodford. But so I got this. This is one of those other phone calls that I get on Friday night. Come by 2:00 tomorrow and pick this up.
You need to start calling me when you get those, and that way I can tell you what I need too.
Exactly.
So
I mean, we don't live that far away, and my mother lives in Mount Juliet, so I have to go see her on occasion.
You got to come up and pick one off my shelf, and we can crack it open. So this is reaching like $140. My understanding is I could sell this for about $500 right now. I don't know. I don't participate in the secondary market.
I don't either. I actually. Yesterday, I was reaching out to Jay.
Cooper?
Yeah, Jay Cooper via private text. Me and him were chatting because I was working with a guy who seemed legit, and for all essential purposes, I believe he is legit. I think he just got a better offer. I was in the woods, so I was sitting in the woods, and he had posted on Instagram. He got something up for trade, and it was Stag 2019. I was like, okay. I was like, what do you want to trade, and or what's your price point? His price point was 530. I was like, I'm not doing 530, just not doing it. All right. I said, if we were in the woods, I mean, with me being in the woods and you said 430, I would have Venmo'd you the money right away and we just moved on. All right. I'll just be honest. That was my breaking point on that. And he said, I'll Venmo you, or you can do the 430 plus $100 bottle. And I'm like, that's relative. Where are you at? Because $100 bottle here may not be the same for, like, you know, Billy down in, or better yet, Rob up in Pittsburgh. Like, for him, $100 bottle, like 107 here in Tennessee is $100 bottle of whiskey, period. I mean, you look on the secondary market all day long, it's going for a lot more than that.
Yeah.
$49.99.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And you know, if I said Rock Hill Farms, like I've made it clear numerous times, here in Tennessee, if you can find it under $200, buy it every time. You're not going to find it under $200. The reason why when Billy reached out to me and said, hey, I can get it to you for retail, I'm like, on it. Boom. I've Venmo'd him and tipped him, you know, right away. I was like, I want to secure that one, you know, because hell, the tip didn't even seem like it was anything extra because it was significantly less than what I would pay for it here.
Right.
Right.
And not on top of all that, if we're doing stuff within, you know, our little house that we have, I'm not gonna make money on it. That wasn't the point for me to make money off of you on it. I'm gonna sell it to you for what I paid for it and the shipping, and that's really it. And even, you know, because I ship stuff all the time, I get a little bit better pricing on shipping. So I'm not gonna charge anybody, you know, I'm not gonna charge you $2.99 for the bottle and then hit you with shipping. So it makes it a lot easier. You know, Jack Frost can get his hands on the stuff I asked about last show that my brother wants. Now I know where to get it at. You know, Mark got Smoke Wagon for one of my guys who's a chef. Sent it straight to him, you know, doing some beautiful cigars on top of it. So for me, again, yeah, for me, it's one of those things where with us, I don't think for me it's going to ever be about money.
Well, first of all, I think in this group,
it's a trade, you know?
In this group that we have, I do believe we have leverage over many of our relationships, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say is because this season, like I tell people all the time, they're like, so how was the season for you? I'm like, dude, the season this year has been fantastic for me. And they're like, well, what'd you get that was like big? I'm like, well, I mean, I got Stag 2020. That's pretty cool. But I got two little books. And I got a case of freaking store picked 1792. What was it? Foolproof? Was that?
Foolproof?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a case of that. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff, and I got two Rock Hill Farms, and one of them came from my boy Ice Cube down at the bottom there, and it was all based on, you know, relationships we had within our team here, because he got it at cost, or not cost, but MSRP, and so that was a ginormous deal for me. So I was like, I mean, he told me, he goes, I picked it up. I Venmo'd you with what, seconds?
Seconds.
Yeah.
And I got a Maker's Mark community. They're not selling Maker's Mark community out here in Colorado. So I got a community coming my way, you know?
Yeah. So, from John. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of relationships. And the other thing is store picks. Like, I already had Foolproof 1792. But that store picks 1792 from West Virginia, is that right?
West Virginia.
That is a solid pick, man. That guy, he knows his bourbon, and
he's got a good store.
Yeah, and it's a solid pick. I loved it, and I was like, I'm on top of this, and that's what I dig. So, of course, I'm using most of that for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. one of the guys that was on my dissertation board when I defended. I'm sending him a bottle. I'm actually supposed to take it to him tomorrow. I got him a bottle as well. We're friends on Facebook. I doubt he watches the show, but if he does, he knows what he's getting tomorrow. But no, for the purpose of the season, and then, like, for example, with Mark was like, hey man, he reached out to me privately. He's like, hey, you got a lot of Blantons. Could you hook my dad up with one? I'm like, sure, to send me the address. I sent his dad directly a bottle of Blantons, and his dad sent me back a personal thank you. And I thought that was freaking cool as everything, you know? And then Mark has sent me stuff. Everybody on this page has sent me something. I mean, I think that deal for the Sweet Wheat and the Little Book was a little off, you know, but apparently you already had another Little Book, so it was comfortable for you.
Yeah, no. So you got a good deal, and I got what I wanted, and that's a good deal.
It's almost like paying secondary prices for what you wanted, right?
You know, because so I mean, like, I'm not a big Booker's fan, you know, and if somebody wants to put more priority on that, that's fine. But I'm a 1792 fan.
I'll be honest with you. 1792 is in my office right now. I wasn't a big fan of theirs initially, but when I tried the Bottled in Bond, that's my favorite.
I was sipping on some Bottled in Bond last night.
When I tried their Bottled in Bond, I was sold almost immediately. I was like, wow, that's really, really good. That oak taste, oh my God.
And it's not only that, but it's got the right amount of heat.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I love Bottled in Bond stuff.
And then Foolproof, I rarely buy anything. I mean, if I see a Foolproof of almost anything, I buy it, because I have found that Foolproof are solid. Now, you were talking about Booker's. I'm not a big fan of Booker's either, to be perfectly honest with you. I've never bought a bottle that I enjoyed. But I will say that Little Book, holy hell, that's some good stuff. I like the blend that they did, because it's a blended whiskey bourbon, and it's a solid, and like I've got the new one, and I'm like, I mean, do I open it or do I wait? You know, I mean, I will open it at some point, but I'm in no hurry to open it. I mean, I've got it's like like we were talking about earlier, we're talking about our like, we could drink something every day. I could literally have a different drink every single day for at least, I know for a fact, 160 days, and that was prior to this weekend when I bought 10 more bottles. But
yeah, me too.
So I could, and then I could go back and start that same cycle again. And maybe we should do that as a show, is take a different one every day, or not every day, but every show.
Yeah.
And we're on show 79.
I think
Jody, that Little Book didn't even come from Tennessee. I got that in Massachusetts, sitting on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
And I knew nothing about it. I had never even seen the term Little Book.
You just like the packaging.
I called one of my buddies back here in Tennessee from Massachusetts, little rural town. And I said, what is this? Have you ever heard of it? He goes, yeah, man. I said, well, there's 4 bottles sitting here. And he says, get them. I said, okay. So that's when I picked them up. And I brought 4 bottles of Little Book back. And he bought 2 of them, and I kept 2 of them, and you got 1 of them.
And you know, that's another thing with the VIP and the people who are not in the chat. You know, even if you was to take away the bourbon out of it, just think about what we all have gained. You know, we got Rob, who's a chef. You know, we got, you know, Jack Frost, who can make the best clear ice in the world. But the thing is, he turned me on to Stranahan's. You know, I got Rob something that is hard for him to come by. That's literally, I can walk into any store here in Miami with my eyes closed and put my hands on it. You know, I mean, just the outreach that we have with each other. You know, you guys have gotten to taste the sauce and, you know, prompted and put stuff out for me. So, I mean, listen, Chuck, who's in the VIP, hasn't been on the show yet, but, you know, I got a bottle of Michter's 10-year-old. He just showed up to my house because I asked him about it. And it was like, okay, you know, that's something that you don't get on all the other bourbon pages. And the other thing is that I really, really enjoy, if you don't know something, you can ask somebody and you don't get played for it as if you're some just out of touch rookie.
Yeah,
We've all
yeah.
seen
Right.
on the bourbon pages where they go in.
Yeah, there's no judgment.
There's definitely
Yeah.
no judgment on this page because we talk about everything. I do want to say this, though, before we close out tonight. I'll let Jack close this out because he does a fabulous job on it, as long as he doesn't forget the main group, which is the Whiskey Rebellion on our YouTube page. So I'll go ahead and say it. Please follow us. But anyway, the thing that I love best about this is, and my wife and I talk about it all the time, she's like, she used to buy me different things at Christmas. Like, that's when I got my first case of Blanton's, when she wrapped up and she handed it to me. I'm like, when the hell did you get a case of Blanton? She goes, well, I met this guy down there and he was like, he asked me if what I wanted. And she was walking out of the store and she goes, he goes, and it turned out to be Bobby. And goes, you're not finding what you want. And he's like, she said, well, you don't have Blanton's. That's what my husband likes. And he goes, well, I have Blanton's. It's just in the back. And goes, how much you want? He goes, how much do you have? And he said, I got a case. And she goes, then I'll take the case, and she wrapped it up. And then last year she got me a bottle of, I forget what it is, but I love the master selection of the Woodford Reserve, the master distills. They come out with seasonal ones. Like, I still have one. It's a sherry cast. Oh my God, it's freaking fantastic. But anyway, she generally buys me one of those or something like that for Christmas. But now she's like, I don't even know what to get you because everything you want for hunting, you already have everything.
Yeah.
Like your bourbon group, y'all, every time I turn around, you got a new box showing up at the house. And somebody's sending you something, or you're going to go meet somebody for lunch, and next thing you know, you're coming back
bringing home a bottle.
Yeah. And she's like, and you got connections everywhere. It's like, she went with me one day and she goes, are you in the mafia? I mean, and she's like, you told the guy, he's like, you kind of looked intimidating when you said it. You're like,
That was funny.
She's like, are you getting the right price? I asked, she goes, the way she does, goes, you asked the guy, he goes, and I won't say who it is because I love this guy to death. I hope I didn't come across that way. But she's like, you looked at him and goes, am I getting the best price? Like that. And he's like, oh yeah, for you, Joe, we get you anything, best price. And and Sue's got in the car. She's like, are you in the mafia? I mean, what's going on here? Like the guy was intimidated.
Garlic.
Yeah, the guy was intimidated by you. I'm like, I don't feel that that's the case. I mean, I go down there and I talk to them, and they know that I have a price. Like, I'm supposed to get the price, and not the other price. And so I just want to make sure. I just clarify each time. Am I getting the right price? And so before I pull the trigger, and he's hooked me up with some great stuff, and he's hooked me up with some stuff like we were talking about earlier with DJ when he said, hey, look, I gave you the that was a trade that I felt comfortable with. It was the same thing with as we had on the live show with David that night, where I said, hey, you want the Kentucky Par? I bought the Kentucky Par that day.
Oh,
We tried it on the show. I did not like it at all. And
that crap went up $20.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like overnight.
And really? I'm not buying that again. But David loved it, and so we traded a $50 bottle of rum for $109 at the time, $109 bottle of Kentucky Par. And so we traded on the show, gave it to him. He gave me what I don't really like, but my wife likes. And I was like, the world is good. We move on. But hey, this has been fun, very educational. Jack, lead us out, and then you guys stick around while after I hit the stop button on the record, and we'll chat for a few minutes before we call it a night. Jack, go ahead.
All right. Well, as you all know, you've been hearing it throughout the entire show. The Whiskey Rebellion VIP chat is where you want to be to get a lot of this BS and fun talk, more so than what you're hearing now. We appreciate everybody being here. With that said, make sure you check out Billy, aka Ice Cube, aka the boy from the South with the sauce. I got to get that down right one of these days. Cafe305bbq.com. Florida boy with the sauce, right?
Yep. That's it.
There it is. All right. Always be good to yourself, right, Billy?
Be good to yourselves, gentlemen.
Check out his site.
It is.
Be good to yourself.
Cafe305bbq.com is where to get his bespoke barbecue sauce. It is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely get yourself some of it. Also, drink responsibly. Never drink and drive. Call yourself a friend or an Uber. Save somebody else's life. That's all we care about. Also, the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast on YouTube and Be Good to Yourself on YouTube. Check out those for these podcasts will be posted there. And the Be Good to Yourself is where Billy calls home, and you'll see all of his good recipes and just how he uses his barbecue sauce over there. So again, thanks. We'll see you all next time.
Peace.